Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's Cantor Lisa. I'm really happy to be here with you all. Even though we're virtual, we're together. And I wanted to begin tonight by lighting candles. And I would like to light candles in honor of all the good going on in the world, despite all the difficulty. Just turn my screen down. Please join me in making the bracha. I'll go this way. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner shel Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom. Let us join together on page 2 for Hine Matov. Hine Matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov manayim shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. Hine Matov shevet achim gam yachad. It is good to be together. Let us turn now in our books to page 4 for Psalm 95. Lechu neranena. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, nekad ma'panav v'toda. Naria, naria, litzur yishenu, bizmirot naria lo. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. And now, continuing with our tradition, we turn to page 6, and we read on the right-hand side of the page, how wise is our tradition. How wise is our tradition to command us to take the time to feel joy. How wise is our tradition to command us to study Torah, and what joy it is to be guided by her words. How wise is our tradition to command us to seek rest on Shabbat, and what joy it is for our souls to be refreshed. How wise is our tradition to command us to kindle Shabbat candles, and what joy it is to marvel in their light. How wise is our tradition to command us to be mindful of Shabbat, and what joy it is to remember God's holiness. Light is sown for the righteous, joy for those who are upright. The righteous will rejoice in Adonai, give thanks, and remember God's holiness. We turn now to Psalm 29 on page 9. Mizmor leDavid, havu l'Adonai, B'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod, va'os havu l'Adonai kivod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh, kol Adonai amayim el hakavod yirim, Adonai, Adonai, Amayim Rabim, Kol Adonai, Bakoach, Kol Adonai, Behadar, Kol Adonai, Shover Arazim, Vaishaver Adonai et Arzei Halvanon, Vayar Kireh, Kemo Egel, Levanon Besirion, Kemo Ben Re'emim, Kol Adonai, Chotzev Lachavodesh, Kol Adonai Yachil, Midbar Yachil Adonai, Midbar Kadesh, Kol Adonai Yecholel Ayalot, Vayechasoch Yeorot, Uvehechalo Kulo, 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 Kulo Omer Kavod, Adonai Lemavul Yashav, Vayeshev Adonai Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Le'amo Yitain, Adonai Yivarech et Amo Vashalom. Give to Adonai, children of all. Give to Adonai glory and power. Give to Adonai the glory of God's name. The voice of God is upon the waters. The God of glory thunders. Adonai is upon the many waters. Now we turn together to page 11, and we come to Lechado D. And for those of you who may be new to our traditions in independent living and Congregation Newbridge, we chant together, sing together, verses 1, 2, 5, 8, and 9, rising on verse 8 in body or spirit to greet the Shabbat bride. Lecha dodim likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Ishmi anu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad, Ushmo echad, L'shem u'tiferet ve'letila, Lecha dodi likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha, ki mikor habracha, merosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava techila, lecha dodi likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Verse 5. Hit oreri, ki va'ore kumi ori, uri, shir daberi, kvod Adonai alayich nigla, lecha dodi likrat kala, 12. Yaminu small tifrotzi v'et Adonai ta'aritzi al yarish ben partzi v'nismecha v'nagila lecha dodi likrat kala Penei Shabbat Nikabela. We rise now in body or spirit to greet the Shabbat bride. Boi v'shalom ateret bala gam b'simcha utzola tochemune am segula Boi chala, lecha dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat, nekabela. We turn now to page 13 and 14 for Psalm 92. So we'll read the interpretive version in English on the right-hand side of page 13, and then we'll go to page 14 on the left-hand side for the Hebrew. It is good to give thanks to the Eternal and to sing praise to the great name, to tell about your love in the morning and your faithfulness every night with the 10-stringed harp and the lute, in song and meditation. For I delight in your world, source of joy, in your deeds, in the works of your hands. How great are your designs, Creator. They are beyond our comprehension. The foolish do not perceive this. The shallow cannot understand. Though the wicked flourish like the weeds, though they spring up like grass, they will be cut down, for you shine on high forever. Behold, your enemies shall perish, the evil ones will fall apart. You lift me. You increase my strength like the wild ram. I am fragrant with oil. I have seen the defeat of my enemies and heard the doom of my attackers. The righteous flourish like palm trees. They grow tall like cedars in Lebanon. Planted in the dark soil of the Holy One, they blossom in the courtyard of our God. Even in old age, they bear fruit. They are green and full of vigor, proclaiming that the source of life is just, our rock, whose way is perfect. On the left hand, page 14, the right-hand side or the left, we have Tzadik Katamar. Let us sing together. Tzadik Katamar yifrach ke'erez balvanon shetulim bevet Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu odinun beseva Tishenim vera'ananim yehiu lehakid ki yashar Adonai suri elo avlatabo. And now we come to the Chatzi Kaddish on page 15. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah. V'yamad yivrach erutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael. Ba'agala, ubizman kari vimaru, Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam olamei almaya yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitfa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, yitadar yitalev yitalal shmei dekudashah. Brichu le'ela min kol virchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran mi'ama v'imru. Amen. So I'd like to share with you a little history about a beautiful melody and text. The text comes from our tradition. The melody comes from the Shaker tradition. The English text is based on the Hebrew text and the English text comes from the Christian gospel tradition. So this is truly an American song. And I'm going to share my screen with you now. So I hope you don't mind. I'll be up in the corner, but that way you can see the words and we can sing along when it's time. So I'll do that right now. I hope you can see this. I'm going to try to center it. There we go. And before I sing it, I just wanted to share just 2 or 3 things about it. This comes from the Parsha of Terumah, and even though we're not in Exodus right now, and this is not our Torah portion, I felt it would be a very important piece for us to sing coming out of Tisha B'Av and all that difficulty and darkness, and the difficulty and darkness that we are indeed experiencing almost on a daily basis in our world. So in the spirit of our rabbis and teachers and philosophers in our tradition, I wanted to recall that we do have free will. We may not be empowered right now to be able to make all the changes, but we do have free will and we can choose how we react to our everyday difficulties and how we help one another. You'll notice the text, Va'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham, is, in the translation, is, let them make for me a sanctuary, a holy place, a mikdash, and let that I may dwell in them. But why doesn't it say to dwell in it? Isn't that what a mikdash or a sanctuary is for the divine presence? Well, the rabbis tell us that this teaching is very important because it means that God does not dwell in places that are architectural or even permanent, as the tabernacle was moving around at that time as well, but in a different kind of permanence and a different kind of space. And that space is the space between each of us. It says, build a sanctuary that I may dwell in them. So we, our bodies, are a place for the indwelling presence of God, and our relationships matter. And the way that we help one another in these very difficult, often, and uncertain times makes all the difference. So without further ado, let us sing together. We'll sing in English first, and then you can see hopefully the transliteration at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to bring it up just a little now so that hopefully you can see everything. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. In thanksgiving, I'll be a together. Oh Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. In thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. And the Hebrew, Ve'asuli mikdash v'shachanti b'tocham ve'anachnu nevarech Yah me'ata ve'ad olam. I hope that you were able to see the words and that you could join in. I find it a beautiful idea that all of our offerings that we bring are from our heart. And when we bring an offering, it's not something we give, it's something we offer to one another. And that in itself declares there must be a relationship. There must be someone to receive our offering. So even though the tabernacle was moving, and the people were wandering in the desert, as we often feel right now in our lives, maybe that we're in a wilderness as well. God is with us, and we have one another. Shabbat Shalom. We continue our service now by rising in body or spirit for the Baruch Hu, and we can find that on page 16. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Vaed. And let us read on the right-hand side of page 16. On the far right, you bring on the evening. You bring on evenings. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe. Your word brings on evenings. With wisdom you open heaven's gates. With understanding you changed fixed times and alternate the seasons and arrange the stars in their places in the sky according to your will. Creator of day and night, rolling light before darkness and darkness before light, you cause day to pass and bring on night, and distinguish between day and night. God of all forces is your name. God, living and enduring, always rule over us forever and ever. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evenings. And we turn now to page 17 for Ahavat Olam. Then we will go right into the Shema and V'ahavta and continue silently after the first paragraph of V'ahavta until page 20 when we join together again. So Ahavat Olam. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amecha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Al ken Adonai Eloheinu, v'shachbeinu v'kumeinu, nasiach b'chukecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, u'b'mitzvotecha, le'olam, le'olam va'ed. Ki hem chayenu ve'orech yameinu, ve'orech yameinu, uvahem neget yomam ve'layla, yomam ve'layla, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך, בביתך ולכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. Page 20, 3 lines from the top on the left-hand side. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. Now we turn to page 21 on the bottom left-hand side for mi chamocha. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar b'kodesh, norati lo o sepel, norati lo o sepel, malechutecha rovanecha, bokei hayam livnei Moshe uMiriam, zeili anu ve'amru Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed, v'ne'emar ki chada Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu, baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. Lay us down, Adonai our God, in peace and awaken us, oh, awaken us to life and your sukkah of peace. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, ve'hamidenu malkeinu l'chaim. May God spread a shelter of peace over us and over all Israel and all the world. Amen. On page 23, we join together for Vishamru, and we will sing at the top on the left-hand side of the page. Vishamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. And now, in a moment, we will rise in body or spirit for the Amidah, and we will chant the first two, daven the first two parts together, the Avot, Kedusha, and Emahot, and then Givorot, and then we will have some silent meditation, and I invite you to take this time to think about something that you've been able to do for someone else, or something that someone has been able to do for you that has made things a little bit easier in the times we're living in. Adonai sifatai tiftachu vi, yagid tehillatcha. Oh God, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'koneh hakol, V'zocher chasdei avot v'imahot, U'mevi geula livnei v'nehem, L'ma'an shemo v'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham U'Foked Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Michayei metim atah Rav le'Hoshia. Morid atah, Michalkel Chaim b'chesed, Michayei metim berachamim rabim, Somech noflim berofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umkayim emunato, Lishenei afar, Micha mocha al gihurot, umido melech, melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata l'chachayot metim, Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hametim, ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, ukdoshim b'chol yom yehallelu chasela, Baruch ata Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Page 31. Aseh shalom mimrama, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. You may be seated. Let us turn now to page 41 for Aleinu. Oh, excuse me. Let us turn to page 130 for Mishabera. And when I pause in the traditional words, the traditional chant, I will encourage you to think of all or say out loud all of the names of those in need of healing that you wish to send complete healing to, a refuah shlema. Page 130, and then we will go to the right-hand side of the page and we will all sing together the Debbie Friedman. Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah v'yivarech v'yirapeh et hacholim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yimalei Rachamim Alehem Limam Ulrapotam Chachazikam Ulchachaye Otam Vayishlach Lahem Mehera Refuah Shlema Refuat HaNefesh Urefuat HaGuf Hashtaba Galau Bizman Kariv Nomar Amen. Together. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor habracha Limotenu. May the source of strength the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi shevero imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Let us now turn to page 41 for Aleinu. And you may rise in body or spirit. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet girula leotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoye haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, ve'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, Livnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu shehu noteh shamayim v'yoser haaretz u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mimo u'shchinatu zo tegoher miromim hu Eloheinu Eimod Emit Malkeinu Efesulato Kakatu V'torato V'yadatayom V'hashivota El Levavecha Ki Adonai Hu Elohim V'shamayim u'mal Ve'aretz mitachat Elon. Kakatu v'toratecha Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol haaretz Bayom hahu Yihya Adonai echad U'shemo echad. We turn now to our mourner's Kaddish. And again, I will ask you to say the names in a moment of silence that we will have before we say the traditional words together. And for those names that we've said out loud and those who we hold in our heart, we wish a peaceful rest. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, v'yalma divrach chilutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, v'agala u'vizman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'olam u'lomei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar, v'yitaleh, v'yithalal, shmeh d'kurusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata, v'nechemata, damiran bi'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. Rabbi Judy will return next week from her vacation, and at least I think she does. And it has been a pleasure being with you just now. And we turn now to page 45 for Adon Olam. Adon Olam asher malach b'terem kol yitzir nivra libnasa v'chefzo kol azai melech shemo nikra ve'acharei kiflot hakol levado yimloch nora ve'hu haya ve'hu hova ve'hu yihya b'tifara ve'hu echad v'ein sheni lehamshilo lehachbira v'li reshit v'li tachlit v'lo ha'oz v'hamisra v'hu eli v'chai go'ali v'tzor chevli v'eit tzara v'hu nisi u'manosli v'nat kosi v'yom ekra b'yado avkid ruchi v'eiti sham v'ya'ira v'imruchi gviati Adonai li v'lo ira. Adonai is with me. I shall not fear. Let us turn to Kiddush and make Kiddush together. And you can find Kiddush for Erev Shabbat on page 50. Savri Vayhir vayhivoker yom hashvi vayhivoker yom hashishi vaychulu hashamayim v'haaretz v'chol tzvam v'chol Elohim vayom hashvi malachto asher asa vayishpot vayom hashvi mikol melachto asher asa vayavorech Elohim et yom hashvi. I'm looking ahead. Vayikadosh oto ki vo Shabbat mikol melachto asher bara Elohim la'asot. Savri. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu. Shabbat kodsho b'ahava u'v'ratzon inchilanu. Zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol avim B'Shabbat Kodshecha, Be'ava U'B'Ratzon, Hinchaltanu. Baruch Ata Adonai, Mikadesh HaShabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And now let us make hamotzi together. And, oh, excuse me. And for that, I will tilt my screen down. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. A taste of what's to come. All good things. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom, and I apologize for my mistakes in the beginning of the Kiddush, but I think I was looking ahead to more of Shabbat tomorrow. Shabbat Shalom to you.